As far as the relating to the fans, I think what Corey said, I believe it was last summer, I think that was pretty apt in regards to the bomb that was dropped on draft day 2 years ago. And then when Rodgers finally returned after missing the entirety of the offseason on the eve of training camp, had his press conference, which everyone hailed as this great truth-telling moment. And I agree, it was a great press conference. He really got a lot off his chest. He exposed a lot of his thinking. And it was all great. But it's never really been he's never really acknowledged what he put fans through that summer. And I know I hear the cynics out there already, or maybe not cynics, maybe just people with a different viewpoint who are like that he doesn't owe the fans anything. He doesn't, like, it's not his responsibility, blah, blah, he can make his own choices. All of that is true. But you can't deny that Packers fans as a breed, like, live and breathe and exist through their team in a pretty, I'm not going to say unhealthy way, but a pretty dynamic way. I mean, hell, Cheesehead TV doesn't exist without Packers fans like that, of which there are many. I would say millions, right? So to not in any way, shape, or form since that day acknowledge the fact that Packers fans are the ones twisting here. Like, I get it, man. You're going off and you're making the tough decision about whether you want to return to football or not. And I respect it. Take all the time you need. Go do your 4-day darkness retreat. Godspeed. But never once acknowledging the fact that while you do all that, Packers fans are the ones here day in and day out wondering what's going to happen with my favorite team. What is going to happen? And then that whole period from the Schefter bomb to him arriving in camp, when we seriously were day by day treated as stories like he wants the general manager fired. He's never going to play for the Packers again. He's going to demand a trade. We've got Vegas odds for his next place he's going to play. Never once, outside of saying, I never authorized any leaks and that didn't come from my camp. That's adorable. To not even acknowledge the fact that there are thousands, if not millions of Packers fans waking up with ulcers, going to sleep with nightmares day in and day out. And you can call them losers and you can dismiss their pain and their frustrations. That's fine. That's great. That's real easy. And I get it. But it's very real. And these people, these fans are living that day in and day out while they wait for you at your convenience to acknowledge them in any way, shape, or form, which as of today, February, 2 years later, you never, ever, ever did. So I think there's a section of the fan base that feels like, yes, they're a little taken for granted. And as I said on Happy Hour last night, that doesn't mean he doesn't appreciate fans. On the contrary, you don't have to go any further than, a search on Twitter or on the internet about people who have met Aaron Rodgers in real life in random situations and hear about how awesome he is. I think he genuinely loves the fans. I'm not saying he doesn't. But that's at a very different scale. The one-on-one interaction is very different than acknowledging, look, I know I've put you guys through it. And that's all that's being asked.